Alright guys, Delzinski here, and today I want to talk WWE 2K16. And I'm sure by now you've had all your favourite YouTubers covering all the information regarding the game, but I've kind of sat back and I've wanted to digest the information, take it all in, because let's be honest, there's been a lot over the last 2 weeks. We've had stuff from IGN, we've had stuff from Gamescom, then we had IGN with the massive balls up, confirming the official roster, which was not to be because it was actually smack talks. So that really was the worst IGN first that we've ever seen. Thumbs up there. But in general, there's just been tons of information and the majority of it has been positive. So I'm going to give you my views and opinions on the roster, on the bonus pre-order, and as well the look and the feel and the style of the game. And in addition to that, we'll be talking some of the game modes as well. So I hope you guys enjoy this commentary, and I want you guys to interact with me via the comment section below with your views and opinions on the info regarding WWE 2K16. So let's get straight into it and let's talk about the look and the feel of the game first of all, because I felt this was going to be really interesting to see if 2K could raise the bar any higher, because let's be honest, WWE 2K15 was a good looking game. It was a really decent looking game. It was a step up from anything that we'd ever seen before. And you know, it's kind of obvious and easy to say, well, it's a new game so it should look better, but I didn't really see any issues with 2K15. The only thing I would say, and what I've began to realise, is that WWE 2K16 is looking for attention to detail, and WWE 2K15 didn't. And the reason why I think it didn't was on the basis that 2K15 was a bare bones game. It was the foundation of this new wave of WWE games, and the reason why I say that is because if you look at it, there were so many little bugs in there, and it feels like that 2K got the look how they wanted, but they never got to push it further. And now in WWE 2K16, they're getting that opportunity, and it's the fine attention to detail. And they've done this with this new cloth tech that they've got, and you can see that in the Finn Balor entrance. For example, if you just look at the tassels on Balor's arms and the belts that come from Finn Balor's hair in his entrance, it just looks so much more smoother and slick to what we had in WWE 2K15. It's the motions as well. Kalisto's entrance, as he does the flip over the top rope, kind of pings the top rope a little bit. There's a little bit of a movement there, and it just looks so much more smooth and easy going. And I feel that is this cloth tech that they've used, and 2K Dev tweeted it out a couple of weeks ago as well. Now, as I say, attention to detail, things that are really obvious, obviously things like Stone Cold Steve Austin actually having his waistcoat on, you know, that's a massive thumbs up right there. That's something that I couldn't understand why it was missed. But on reflection, I get it. Again, 2K wanted to get the bare bones in 2K15. This time round, they're fine tuning it and they're making things right with WWE 2K16. So from the screenshots that I've seen, everything looks on point. It looks good. And it is a step up. It's an improvement. And that's impressive considering how good 2K15 looked. It just lacked the game modes in my point of view. And again, we'll cover that in a moment. They have stepped it up in that department as well. So let's move on. And let's move on from the look and the style to looking at the pre-order. And it is actually Arnold Schwarzenegger who is going to be the bonus pre-order as the Terminator. And you get two versions. You get the T-800 from the first film, and you get him from Terminator 2 as well. So you got like the babyface and the heel versions. And I kind of wasn't sure at first what to think when I found out that Arnold Schwarzenegger is indeed the bonus pre-order. I kind of was thinking, do I really want this? You know, but it's a good selling point if you look at it, the bigger picture, because the bigger picture is, if you're not a hardcore WWE games fan, but you potentially find out that the Terminator's in the game, you might go out and pre-order it on that fact alone. If you're a hardcore WWE games fan and you're not fussed about the Terminator, you can pass on the pre-order and you don't really miss out on a character, because it's highly unlikely that you're going to want the Terminator in your universe mode unless he maybe rocks up, I don't know, at Judgment Day and then comes in and clears out your entire roster. How that would work, maybe, I don't know. But, you know, before we had like Hulk Hogan as a bonus pre-order, and you know, you miss out on that superstar, so we wouldn't be able to be in universe mode. So having it not as a superstar kind of is helpful in a way. Now, I do think that, you know, if the Terminator doesn't play a significant part in the game, it might also be a bit disappointing because there's so much they could do with it. And I really was kind of thinking maybe we could have a Terminator mode, you know, like, you know, take on the Terminator, a bit like Defeat the Streak or Proving Ground with John Cena. And what I mean by this is, if you had to face the Terminator, and let's say you're in a battle with him, you give him a big right hand, and you know, it knocks off some of his skin, and then you begin to see the robot underneath, the metal, the mechanics, the red eye of the Terminator. I think that would be epic. And if 2K maybe dropped out a few screenshots to give it the emphasis that this is going to happen, then I'd be up for pre-ordering this, because it's something totally different and something totally new. Just seeing as you beat down the Terminator, him becoming more and more looking like a robot, yeah, that just works for me. So if you guys think that that could work, let me know via the comment section below. I think it would work perfectly. And obviously Arnold Schwarzenegger being in the game, you know, he is a big part of WWE. They love him there. So I thought the trailer was epic. So I think if you're going to do it, go all out and go for something like this. So that's my view and opinion on the Terminator being pre-order. I think there's a lot they can do, but I think he's just going to be a pre-order character, and that's that. But I'd love to see something, whereas if you give him damage, he looks more and more like the robot himself. So, moving on, I was excited about that. I'm even more excited about this, and this is about the Creation Suite. This is the information that we all wanted. All us creators, all us YouTubers who love universe mode. Yes, we don't get story designer, but there's a hell of a lot coming our way which we didn't have this year. So it only emphasizes, you know, the creativity is coming back to WWE games, and thank God for that. Because, as I said, WWE 2K15 had to sacrifice a lot to just get it to where it is. And now we get it back. And what we're getting is we're getting so much stuff. We're getting Create a Diva, you know, so it's good for people like, for example, the Revolution L. She can actually have a Divas universe mode because she can create and add more Divas. Thank God for that. Otherwise, you know, she was kind of stuck not being able to do what she normally does. And anybody that likes the Divas, 2K15 was a massive disappointment. In addition to that, we've got Create a Championship, Create an Arena. So for me, Saturday Night Main Event can now be diversified even more with its own style arena with my look and my feel. And in addition to that, we're getting Create a Show. Now, so if I've made my own Saturday Night Main Event arena, I can then add name templates from what I've heard. It just opens the door to a lot more creativity, and that's what we've always wanted. If we can upload logos and stuff and place them into our shows for the nameplates for around the arena, it's just going to be quality, and that is something that we really did lack in last year's game. And the best bit as well is Create a Superstar, Create an Entrance has all been enhanced as well. So hopefully we get a lot more superstar slots, because we were really lacklustered for the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 versions. Although the PC got patched and they did give us more slots, I'd expect to see even more so in WWE 2K16. Create an Entrance was limited. That needs to be improved. And just in general with Create a Superstar, we need a lot more, you know, hairstyles, beards, you know, the whole shebang needed a lot more. And I've got a feeling we're going to get it with WWE 2K16. So if you're a YouTuber, it's a good sign. And if you're not, then it just opens the door to make a universe which you will really enjoy. Now, in addition to the creativity side, we've got a much bigger roster, 120 unique playable characters. So that's awesome. And we've had IGN confirming these characters, and they're probably going to release, I think, 12 superstars of the roster each week now. And they confirmed, I think, just to read out a few, we had Booker T, Colonel Mustafa, Emma, Eva Marie, General Adnan, Kalisto, Kane, Lord Steven Regal, Sin Cara, Summer Rae, Tamina, and the Game, Triple H. And that's just to add to Seth Rollins, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Daniel Bryan, Dean Ambrose, Bad News Barrett, Paige, and Finn Balor. So that's a good selection already that we've got there. One thing I would point out is we've got a couple of legends in there. We've got Colonel Mustafa and General Adnan. Could I do without them? Possibly. But then again, if this is just the beginning and we are going to get a Legends part of the roster, then I'm all for it. Because again, going back to creativity, if you want to do a universe mode, it would be great to have the option to do a retro universe, or do a future universe in NXT, or do a current universe in terms of Raw and SmackDown superstars. So give us the variety. That's what we want. And it sounds like as they drop the names, we're getting that. We've got, you know, Kalisto, Sin Cara, Eva Marie, or Red Everything, Emma, as well. We're going to have Finn Balor, so I expect Kevin Owens. So the NXT side is pretty bolstered as well. So yeah, I'm loving the sound of the roster, and of course it's 120 unique playable characters. And from what I've heard, there is no more of this whole sharing slots. You know, 6 Undertakers. You know, 50. Shawn Michaels, you know, that got annoying, having the same superstar over and over and over again. Build it all into one slot and we're spot on there with multiple attires. That works for me. So the roster is sounding smart, and the final thing I really want to talk about from the news that I've heard is the breakout system. That sounds cool. The breakout system sounds really cool. You know, so now you're going to have the potential to attack superstars as they make their way to the ring. That again is another great thing for universe mode. If you want to, you know, spice it up a bit, you can have your superstar being attacked now on his entrance, and I think it works both ways. It doesn't matter if it's the first entrant or the second one. There's 2 ways you can break out and make the attack. So that sounds good to me. It's seamless in terms of the entrances, so there is actually no loading screens. The only thing I'd point out here is we've got a little countdown clock. That's going to get annoying. I hope we can turn that off. I really hope we don't have to have that countdown clock in the top corner. That is going to be a massive bugbear for anybody who tries to make their universe mode look slick, having that damn clock in the corner. So, you know, please, please, please get rid of that 2K before the game comes out, or at least give us the option to turn it off. But the breakout mode sounds good, and it sounds like as well we've got new sort of pinfalls. The superstar actually reaches or puts his leg on the rope now. Thank God. I hated having rope break come up on the screen. No way, that's no good for me. So again, realism being involved, all good. A new pinning system, a new stamina system. So apparently you can only reverse certain amounts of moves as well now. You can't reverse everything. Bit concerned that could hinder matches, but then again, if you let it build up, maybe it builds to the match pacing and it adds that more simulation feel. And I like the way that matches were played out in 2K15. I like the slower style instead of the arcade look. I feel it does give more realism, so that's a thumbs up as well. Now finally, as The Rock would say, the last thing I want to talk about is online, because online is having a complete overhaul, thank God. Because online for me, I don't play it that much, and the reason being is because it never works. Every time I go on the server, I get disconnected, something breaks. It just wasn't very good. And this time round, 2K have confirmed it's an overhaul. So hopefully they're going to build it, you know, they're going to have real, you know, high-powered servers that can cope and handle what's going on within the WWE games community. Have a look at EA and how they've done FIFA. I mean, it would be great to have additions of, you know, leagues, you know, to have maybe every now and again 2K releasing little competitions that we could be involved in, because EA have that as well. They have their EA trophies. You know, it would be great to maybe even have competitions where you actually get to go to a WWE event at the end of it, and 2K could slot that in somehow. So, you know, it could open up the community, and I'd say it could open it up so much that it could be a bit like the FIFA community, where everybody is online interacting with each other, and it builds the community as a group as a whole. So if they can do that, it would be fantastic. It needs to work, and it just needs to work in general, but if they can expand on it as well, Yes, yes, yes. That's a lot of information, guys. So, yeah, they're my views from the initial information that we've had. I waited, I saved it all up, and then I just kind of unloaded. Sounds dodgy, doesn't it? But I did that. So, yeah, deal with it, as Batista would say. But anyway, guys, let me know by the comment section below what you think of all the details that I've run through. What do you think of, you know, expanding the Terminator? I don't know what that is, but the Terminator, I know what that is. So what do you think if we expand on the Terminator mode? You know, what's your thoughts of everything coming back in terms of Creation Suite, and how would you make the online side work? How would you have it so it immerses the universe a bit more and makes this community work together in a great way? Let me know via the comment section below, and all that's left to be said is please rate, comment and subscribe. This is Delzinski signing out.